up here, we just keep. Ready?
Yeah.
Right, Holly, hello.
Hello.
Lovely to see you again. Thanks for coming in to see myself and Antoinette. As you know, you're one of the girls from our wee group that we started in 2019. And because of COVID-19, we ended up having this the whole way through to 2021. Are you happy enough? I think we're socially distanced enough here and the door's open there, so you're okay to do it this way. So, Antoinette McCourt, the coordinator with myself, Jerry Bradley, coordinator of the Having More Local Training Initiative, and Holly Canavan, one of our former learners. So, Holly, you came to us in 2019, as I said, and you were supposed to stay with us, I think, 2019, you were meant to be with us till
2020.
Yeah, so you would have been with us till July.
Yeah.
But then when the lockdown came in March 2020, we all were sort of locked down, so we had to work from home. So I really want to talk a wee bit first about how we tried to manage working, which is a problem for us was that a lot of the people that were on our group either didn't have the internet at home or didn't have laptops and stuff like that. I think you were one of them. You in that position.
Yeah.
Well, what way did that affect you?
It was hard, but with the packs and all that and the books we got, it was easier done because we didn't really need internet or anything like that for it.
Right. But look, but myself and Antoinette then, we were worried just to make sure that we stayed in contact with everybody during COVID-19. And we'll talk a wee bit about your own story in particular. We were concerned about you, as we were for all of our learners. So we decided we'd make up these packs, and we delivered a pack every fortnight, as you know, and everybody got a book with the pack. So you had a book that you had to read, and then write a book or two as well, to sort of prove that you read the book, but tell us what you thought of it and that. And then most of the packs you had to fill, there was information that you had to sort of read up and that there, and then you had to fill in the pack. Did you find that helpful?
Yeah, I did find it helpful. Like at the start I didn't like reading at all, so I wasn't a fan of that. But then we had to write the book review, so we had to read the books to do the book review. And I ended up actually enjoying reading. Like I got into the books and wanted a different book every 2 weeks.
And then when you think about it, like I think we did 16 packs all together, wasn't it?
Yes.
So like between the 16 packs and then over that period, you actually everybody got 16 different books to read. So for a lot of people it was like a sort of a new experience.
Yeah, definitely. Not many of us in the group were used to reading.
Yeah, part of the idea was because everybody's so used to social media, and because some of our people didn't have the facilities, as we said, that they needed, we sort of went the other way a wee bit and went back to sort of like trying to get people into a bit of reading, and plus the fact that it was giving you something to do when you were at home and giving you a new interest. If you got that new interest, it filled your time to you as well.
I think also as well with the books, it kept people off the social media with the bad news and the videos that people were seeing for COVID-19. That wasn't helping people's mental health.
Especially when you're at home all day.
Yeah.
And you're just normally stuck to the phone, but we were stuck to books, like it was different.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for it too is we thought that if people were actually presenting a piece of work, that they felt like they were achieving something. How did you feel about that? Like they were still doing something, or they were still part of the group?
I felt like I was still in the same routine as I was when I was here. I was still getting up to do the work, and like every day doing bits of reading, and we were finishing. Like we had 2 weeks to do it, so we had to do it every day to get it done.
You had to walk to the scale there. And so you enjoyed that at the end of it?
Yeah, I did.
Right, and part of the reason for that there too, I know, and we'll talk about this a wee bit more in a while, Antoinette stayed in touch with you a lot on the phone and that there, because we were concerned about you at the time. We'll talk about your story a wee bit more in a minute. But a big part of it was the fact that I was able to call to you face to face. We're dropping off the pack and leaving the next pack, but it was a chance to touch base and talk to people and see how you were getting on and have that face to face contact. Now I know we socially distance and we wore masks and all the rest, but I felt that was important for our learners. How did you feel about that?
I think it was definitely important because when we were in the class, like we were getting the support from you, but when we were at home, we weren't seeing you as much. But then when we did see you, like we felt like we were doing just as good, and we were still getting like the same support from you, even though it wasn't face to face the whole time.
Yeah. And then we had the WhatsApp group as well, so you could stay in touch with the whole group. And all of us could have a wee bit of banter, a bit of buzz, but you could still have then your own private conversations with Antoinette. And then if you wanted to talk to me about, we could do it in a confidential way or in a private way, which is very important for all of us too. So I mean, I think that was something we were very happy with. That sort of worked out pretty well for us, didn't it?
Yeah.
And we felt like we were sort of supporting you as a group.
Oh, definitely.
Like we still had 12 in the group. That was our 14. 14, yeah. Some of them, we lost some of the group when we went on, when we came back, because some of them weren't able to come back. We sort of went on to Walkover level. So just to talk about Antoinette, like you and Antoinette talked a lot on the phone as well, and we were really concerned for you around that time, because I mean you had, like I want you to tell your own bit of your own story now, but you did have your own hardships in that there. So tell us a wee bit about your mum and your dad and the other stuff.
Well, before I started the course, my mum died, and I was just in a horrible rut. Like I had no routine whatsoever. I didn't really care about anything. And then at the start of the course, I was still a bit like that. I was missing 1 or 2 days. But then, like with the help from yous, I got into a class routine. I was feeling good about myself. Like if I needed like the help from my mum that I used to get, like I had Antoinette as a woman, and then obviously during the lockdown my dad died, so like he would have been great help to me then too. And like it's just because I was young, like I was used to like my mum and dad had always been there for me, but I didn't have that then, and then yous were the ones that helped me through that stuff. Like if I didn't have yous, I would have been in the same situation as I was.
Before. So, and I mean, then on top of all that, and I know this is a wee bit hard for you, but it's important for people to understand how much more the work we do is not all about academics and all the rest. We say we're a holistic organisation and we genuinely care about people. And we do genuinely, you know we care about you, you know. And the fact that you're back here with us and all the rest, like I mean, having that personal touch I thought or Cooper's thought was so important, and that's why we did it. Now, and then tell us a bit, then even after that, you ended up being diagnosed with diabetes, didn't you?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with diabetes during the lockdown, and it was just awful.
That was type 1, was it?
Yeah, type 1. It's where you have to self-inject yourself and check your bloods daily and watch whichever you eat really. And like I was obviously finding it hard to get used to that, and like there was sometimes I didn't know why my bloods were going up, but I'd get talking to Antoinette and she'd tell me why they were going up.
It's very important, even for your health, like physical health.
It was
let alone your mental health.
Yeah, because if I did, like, there wasn't many people around me who knew what diabetes was really, but you knew lots about it. And like, it was just good to have someone to know something about it.
And did you feel that Antoinette cared about it?
Definitely, she was on the phone the whole time to me.
Need to make sure we kept them showers down.
I know, but that's but it was very important because, I mean, we're saying today when you come into us, you look really well and you do look really well. You've probably got a weight around your face and that. But at that time, especially because you had been sick for a while on and off and you had missed some days, and we were worried that there was something going on, but we didn't. None of us thought that it was diabetes. And then with the hardship you'd had with your mum and your dad and stuff, with your mum especially before that, we sort of were putting it down to that and stress and all of these things. But it then turned out that it was diabetes. So like it was some kick in the gut to find that out. And I mean, I have to say, we're so proud of you that how well you've coped it, how well, for by the wee bit of help you did. Like most of the credit needs to go to yourself because you've turned into a real adult even compared to the first day you walked through this door here. You know, and you're I can feel the confident buzz coming off you. You know, like you're a woman that's in control of your life now. Do you know what I mean? You know, you have a better idea of what you want to do and where you're going, and that's wonderful. Like that's like me and her saying. You know,
you've flown the nest.
Well, it's sort of like a bit that our job is done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, unbelievably, like you went through a really, really bad time and you just got hit and hit again, but you came through it. And I do like to think that we did were there for you and we did support you. But at the same time, you were like a wee sponge in the sense that you were open and you were willing for someone to be there and support you in that there. So that was very important too. And you did take on board, I think one of the things we try to drive home all the time about taking control of your life and being in control of your life and deciding to do something with it, about self-respect and your own self-esteem and all of those things. They're all stuff that we tried to talk about that are very important. And I think that you took, I do know that you took a lot of that on board because I can see it in the way you go on and the way you talk and all of that there. And the way, the way you're living your life, you're very careful. You were talking about, when we did come back in September that year, was it? September, we were able to get counselling for you straight away, get you to a counsellor and that there. We thought that was important, discussing with yourself, like, that they help. How did you find that? Did that help you?
That definitely helped me an awful lot.
Yeah.
Like, I spoke to the counsellor about things and I spoke to anyone before.
Yeah.
And she helped me see everything in a different way, whereas I don't think about the stuff anymore. Like, I know it's there, but I'm not dragging it into the future with me. Like, and I'm just being better on myself and doing better for myself instead of dwelling on my past.
Yeah, and you have a good future in front of you. Like, you can't turn it into something wonderful for yourself. And someone who's been through the toughness you have, it's a very solid foundation to be building on too. So the group came back to us in September 2020 and we were able to keep this right through to the end of February 2021. And we completed QQA Major Award Level 3 in Employability Skills. We completed 3 QQA models at Level 4. We did First Aid Response, we did Forklift Driving, we did HASP and Barista Training. So in that sense, for the sort of academic and the training part of it, is we're all work ready when you left.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then the fact that we did do a lot of personal development training and we brought people in to do the walk around CBT and sexual health and drug addiction and then or alcohol and drug abuse and talking about your mental health and mental health self-care and first aid for mental health, all these different things. It's like a whole mental health and well-being program we did, and then we brought in various like Paul Egan and Barbara Kelly and then the other experts we sort of brought in to do that. That part of it, do you think that was as important as the?
Definitely was, because like I can speak for everyone else because we had this conversation with each other. Like none of us were ever ones to be open about what happened in our lives or our feelings or anything like that, or even just like sexual things or like a lot of us had parents who are alcoholics and all stuff like that. But when we were doing each and all of those things, we all talked about everything, and we all trusted each other. Like we all knew everybody's story.
Yeah, it's a good group together, like, wasn't it? Yeah.
Like we even admitted we wouldn't have been that close to our friends we grew up with, but we were close with each other like that. Yeah. And we wouldn't have been like that if it wasn't for those things we did.
But that was part of you all becoming more confident in yourselves as well and understanding other people experience tough things too, and being able to talk and support each other in that way. So I mean, when you were finished with us, we had done a lot of work, sort of say, on your own personal development and on your own health and mental health and stuff like that there. And we did, as we said, try to be a support for you and that. And I hope that we were. I did believe that we were. But when you were finished with us, after everything, you were one of the ones who went straight into work. So you went to work in Wuxie. So tell me a bit about that.
Well, I mean, it's probably a bit of a shock because you didn't think I'd keep that up.
No. But we knew you were facing you had a lot of
Yeah, well, like it was just weird because from the few days I missed here and then I started coming in, remember, I never missed it.
You never missed it.
No, I just got stuck in that rut, like, and every day I went to work, like, I was just feeling proud that I never missed a day. Like, the whole time I was working in Lucia, I didn't miss a day. Not even for any of my diabetes things or anything like that.
But because I remember before we got the diagnosis of diabetes, we were thinking anemia, and the doctor was thinking anemia, so we were looking at that and ways to fill that, and iron deficiencies, and and the whole lot. That was before the diabetes, so we were looking at that because you were so tired, so drained, and in so much pain. As a woman, I know at certain times of the month you were in agony.
It was a tough
It was
thing,
really tough. So the days that you missed when you were here, you were sick. You were sick.
I know, but I mean, like, when you sort of started getting your head around what you want to do and you're like, this idea that penny dropped you, that you wanted to be in control of things for yourself, like, things changed then because you just were in control then.
Now it's a thing like where I'm proud to be like that. Like never missing days, I'm always on time and people can rely on me.
Doing things for yourself.
Like if they need anyone in work now, like I'm one of the first people to call, like, and I never thought that'd happen.
I knew it.
So you went to Rugby first, and basically since you left us you've been walking, so you've been in a couple of jobs. So tell us a wee bit about.
Well, I was working in Rushi, and that's a building site, and I was doing cleaning like the offices and the dryer rooms, the canteens and things like that. And then it turned out that the two people I went to the course with ended up getting the same jobs as me in Rushi. So we were basically together again, and it was just so fun. That was my favourite job so far. But then I actually broke my arm. So the people, by the time my arm healed, the people I worked for, they were moved to Dublin. So I had to go get a different job. But I got another job in Wuxi for a different company. KCI. And then they were finished up in that site too, so they moved again.
They were all like contractors,
And then I walked straight into another job in Applegreen in the South End. And I've been doing jobs in the whole place there. Like
the training and all different acts.
The whole lot.
And you did Bristol, it's interesting that there because I remember we used to say when we were doing hazard training for working with food and that there, we did Bristol training and that there. And there were two pieces of work that sort of stood alone that were training that you could carry with you. How did you feel? Were there practical things that helped you in the job you're in now?
They definitely did help me because in my interview, they were interviewing me to be a cleaner, and then they looked at my CV and seen that I had all those qualifications. And they took me straight into Costa first, then Burger King, and now I'm in Bakewell. So,
So you're there on the whole area. You can went Applegreen and go walk in Bakewell or Costa or anywhere.
I can work anywhere in Applegreen.
You'll probably end up in Mandarin in Costa because you come looking for a job yourself. So look, I mean, we really loved having you in our group and we really enjoyed having the group. For me personally, and let me say what you think yourself, but one of the big things I liked about you is for by ending, I loved your laugh for a start, and I always thought you were a very bubbly person. You have a very positive attitude inside when if you don't get caught in a rut, and it's so easy for all of us, like that can happen to anybody. And I think life's a learning process too, so as you go along in life, like if you decide to be in control of your life, you become strong. You know what I mean? And you will get knocks in your life, but you're a wonderful girl, you know what I mean? And so for me personally, you're one of the people that I really do miss. You know what I mean? It was a great group, I have to say, and we did enjoy having them. But we cared about them all. But I mean, you're someone that you know we care about you.
Yes. For me personally, I think you were the closest I've been to, in nearly all the groups, because we did spend so much time on the phone and texting and.
But you were someone that really needed, we felt that really at that time you did need that wee bit of help, didn't you? And we sort of went out of our way to make sure that we tried to give you that wee bit extra bit. Although we tried to help them all. But I mean, it's something I'm very proud of that we were able to do, and it does mean a lot to me. Like going forward in your own life, I hope that you can look back at the time you were with us, and like even texting to us, you said you missed the time we were together, you didn't realise how good it was, and blah blah blah. And which is the truth for all of us, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, I'm very proud of being part of your life. You know what I mean? And you know yourself, we're here, like, you'll come and see us anytime. Any help you need, we're only a phone call away. And even like I went up today to the collection that there, like I mean, to go and meet you or anything like that there, you know that's
no problem.
You know. So I mean, is there anything else you really want to say?
I just want to say I don't know if I'll ever be able to express how proud I am of you. Because when you first came here to sign up, I was the one you signed up with. So I have been there with you side by side through your whole journey, even from signing from the course to show your interest, to your interview, to the first day you were here. I remember you. To me, you're one of my own kids.
Yeah.
I've been there every day. I've been there through it all. But your personal strength, for me, you're an example of what this course does.
Yeah.
Not just academically, but personally, everything. You're the example. You're a very good example, because no matter what you've been through, you have just shown your strength. And you've just put it on your back, even your broken arm. Not only are you diabetic, all the personal stuff on it, I broke my arm.
I went back to work.
And I went straight back to work. It was like it was nothing. So I just went straight back to work. Like,
you have to be so proud of yourself.
you have to be. Like you have to see how fantastic you are.
Yeah. But
How absolutely fantastic
Yeah,
you
we're so
really
proud.
truly are.
You're great.
You're amazing.
Right, I'm putting this on to give you a hug because I have to. I'd rather not, but I have to. So, but I still have to get up. So, thanks very much, Holly, for coming in. You know we love you.
I got
We're always here for you.
I get the biggest one.
Ah, yes, you have to.
I missed this hug. I did. I missed my hug.
So we get a wee cup of tea now.
I used to get them hugs every day.